Alright, so I got evidence that proves that Natalie Bollinger and I were friends during the time that I supposedly stalked her. When I stayed behind her work, it wasn't her work, it was her sister's work, and we were still friends then. But the media doesn't care about that. Or in the words of Donald J. Trump, as the White House thing says, the fake media. Lovely. I am already blocked from Denver 7. I've had several other people tell me that they're blocked from different media outlets who are not interested in the truth. Also, Natalie's family, including Rose, took part in threatening, harassing, and intimidating myself and others, and I got proof of this too. I pity the fool. When it all comes down to it, it didn't matter, did it? Natalie's still dead, isn't she? But I have a chance at a decent life, right? No, I don't. After the slander that I endured, every person that I ripped out, I was justifiable in doing so. Every one of them. With Miss Peaches, she got to see a bit, but she is a mom, Raja misrepresenting the truth, well, that's a bit of an issue, but then again, I misrepresented the truth. I did. 0% effort? No, that's not true. The day that Mandy Hughes was supposed to go in with me and I waited for her for 6 hours, well, Miss Peaches had offered to go in with me that day, and we didn't go in because I was waiting on Mandy. I didn't know that I was going to be waiting for 6 hours. But at the same time, Raja misrepresented the truth by saying that he went in with me. He never did. Nobody in his family ever did. There was one occasion where Miss Peaches, she wanted to rush Job out the door, and I'm like, well, fuck, there's a lot of stuff here to go through, and it's not organized. I hadn't had a place to organize it. So I had to just basically collect what I could as fast as I could until my phone was full. Mandy Hughes knows a lot about the situation. A lot about it. And she should have come forward. I'm not going to apologize for speaking out. Now, between the time that I left Virginia and when Natalie died, everything that I had done was to try to either get a court date or get myself killed. The things that I was going through because Natalie misrepresented the truth. She misrepresented it to her family. She misrepresented it to, actually, Alicia Bollinger misrepresented it to Maddie Boa. The fact is, nothing that happened in Virginia was stalking. Not even a little bit of it. We were friends until I got a busted phone for my birthday. Happy birthday, Sean. Here's a busted phone. By the way, it's going to lead to an entire year of hell, followed by your best friend getting shot in the head, you getting blamed, and then 2 years of even worse hell. Thank you for that phone, Alicia. After Natalie's death, up until August, Natalie's family and friends took part in threatening and harassing and intimidating myself, and internet stalking, threats, and harassment. If it's okay for them, it's okay for me. That's fair and equal. The police turned a blind eye to it, looked the other way while it happened to me. The media looked the other way while it happened to me. Meanwhile, there's people like Sarah Victoria Fundberg getting involved, and this Adam Kleinfeller, Denise M. Kelly. Even after the protection order, Natalie's family continued to comment on my Facebook. Ted Bollinger continued. Denise M. Kelly continued. Yeah, damn right I'm going to speak out. Also, these people lied on their paperwork, claiming that I had threatened their children. This is a major issue, because that's a misrepresentation of the truth. A lot of people did illegal shit, and it was okay because they did it to me. In between when I left Virginia and when Natalie died, I was doing everything in my power to get the things that were happening to me to stop. And all of the evidence proves this. But then you want to pull out little bits and pieces and try to paraphrase. That's not okay. Denver 7 is a fake news outlet. Fake news outlet. When I'm freaking out and I'm posting a video because I'm fucking freaking out and I'm stranded in Bozeman, Montana, I don't have anybody friendly there, and Shannon calls me up and does what it is that I'm used to her doing, which is talking over me and talking over me and talking over me and talking over me, asking questions, and before I can answer it, she's talking over me. You need to give me a few seconds. There's a lot of information I gotta process in order to answer a question. That is an autistic trait. But people expect immediate answers. Like, sometimes you ask me a question, I gotta think about it for a minute. Now, when Shannon called me, if you guys have seen the video, the second time I screamed at Shannon, she was doing the same thing that she was doing the first time that I screamed at her. She was just talking non-stop. No, you're not helping me. You are not helping me by doing that. Last night we had a conversation where she actually listened. It was fucking great. She didn't talk about 300 other situations. She did talk about her uncle who was murdered by the police in 1986. But the other thing is that actually had a bearing on my case. That actually has a bearing on the whole situation. Because at that point in the conversation, that's what we were talking about. We were talking about the police murdering people who tried to speak out against police. But we also were talking about how the police go out of their way not to take your report when you're trying to speak out against police. I needed help because I don't know how to do these things, that makes it legal to do illegal things. It's legal to do illegal things because I don't know how to report it. Shannon took a look too. So did that lady up there in, what's her name? Jessica Connolly, I believe. There's no way to make an online report about the things I'm trying to report about. And then with not having the money or the ability to get a lawyer without help, I mean, I shut down. That's not a choice. If I'm in a screamy environment, I'm gonna shut down. With Shannon, it's a point of embarrassment. But that's neither here nor there. Like, I don't get embarrassed. That's why I'm honest. I just don't get embarrassed. For most of these people, they were embarrassed. With Mandy Hughes, she still has a lot of information. She still got to see a lot of things. But the public outcry was for blood. The public outcry was for entertainment. They didn't want the truth, and they still don't. And that's why the police got away with what they did. I intend on going to Chapel, Nebraska, and arresting every officer there for obstruction of justice, for failing to file police reports, for ignoring abuse against an at-risk adult or a disabled adult. The fact is, I fight for our rights. If they can do these things to me, well, they set a precedence that makes it legal to do it to you. Of course, it's been legal to do it to you for a long time. The difference is, if you guys have somebody in your corner, the media might listen. The media didn't want to listen. The media didn't care how many people threatened, harassed, intimidated, or assaulted me, or the people that I was with. This resulted in a public opinion that had me assaulted repeatedly. There's supposed to be services to help people like me. The problem is that those services don't work. You call one, and they send you on to another, onto another, onto another, onto another. The police take you to these places, like Clearview, any hospital for that matter, and when you're suicidal because of police, well, it makes it very complicated, because I don't need to be hospitalized. And if I am hospitalized, I need to be hospitalized for the rest of my life. Public pretenders don't care. They get paid whether they win or not. The things that were done to me by Pamela Cardi, illegal as hell. Her not showing up at court repeatedly, illegal as hell. It's not illegal for her to not show up at court, but the consequences for me, because she did not show up at court, are very real. In Colorado, they have 35 days to hold your pretrial. And at 38 days, Pamela Cardi still had not requisitioned the evidence that Brian Valenzuela stole. He stole that from a different jurisdiction. Not only that, but Brian Valenzuela isn't even from the town that Ken and Leah live in. So why was he the investigator in that case? I was lied to, threatened, tortured, intimidated, and coerced into signing a piece of paper basically absolving Pamela Carty of her sentence when I pled guilty. The thing is that she did that under false pretenses. The fact is, the first time I threatened to sue Pamela Carty, she should have been taken off of my case. The judge refused to allow that. If you're not going to represent me, you shouldn't be there. But also because of Kara Johnson Miles and the things that she had to say, and the fact that the police outright omitted information, much information in my case, really goes to show that something needs to be done. These officers need to be forced to wear body cameras at all times. When it comes to the homeless, police do whatever they want because the public doesn't care. In the case of Sammy Leon Lawrence IV and Zaid Atkinson, or Zaid Atkinson, depending on who it is that's saying it, apparently. I've never heard his name spoken. These are both people who live in houses who had public support. The same thing that happened to me happened to them. And also Michelle Rodriguez. But the thing is that they tried to play it off as a race crime. No, Officer Lolatai doesn't care. If he thinks you're homeless, he'll hurt you. He hates the homeless. Boulder County specifically hires officers to do this. Yay. Facebook is not real life. I want my life to end every single day because people just don't care. They don't care what the right thing is to do. They just want someone to hurt because they didn't get what they wanted. And who do they choose to hurt? Those who are easiest to victimize. Now, the things that I've done that are illegal, with the exception of lighting a fire and threatening to kill the President of the United States, all of these things were done to me first. The harassment, the stalking. Yep. Have I stalked anybody? No. But I have harassed people. You're damn right. And I'm going to continue to harass people. That's the thing, is that I'm fighting for equality. If it's illegal for me to do it back, then it's illegal for them to do it to me to begin with. Mr. Trump, are you a chump? Or are you the President of the United States? Do you care about justice? Or do you care about money? Do you really care to do something about fake media? Because this is the way to do it.